be one thing that they were looking to announce, especially in ComicCon. But surprising that it got leaked already, unfortunately. So again, it was rumored because people were like, "Well, it's just mocked up pictures and saying Majora's Mask," but they're like, "No, multiple people found this." So awesome that Majora's Mask is coming out 3DS. Again, we've already have the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time on 3DS already itself, but Majora's Mask, very great game, especially for the Legend of Zelda series. A little bit more of a darker tone, especially for that one, but got a well-received liking to it, so especially a good game, and coming out for 3DS, trust me, that thing's doing amazingly well, so sadly for the Wii U, not really so much, but still.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Anyway.
So that'll end up wrapping up for me, so how those boys in orange doing, buddy?
Funny you should ask that.
I know. I was trying to think of a first place, comment, but I couldn't think of one off the top of my head.
Well, considering it's been so long since we've been in first place, I think we forgive you.
Thank you.
But, so yes, as we last spoke, we were coming off the All-Star break. Orioles have, as I said, possibly one of their toughest stretches. The American League West this year is heads and tails above the rest of the league in regards to talent. Oakland has the best record in baseball. Pitching staff is ridiculous. Offense top to bottom. There's a reason they had 7 reps in the All-Star game this year.
Yeah.
Anaheim as well. They can hit. The pitching staff's pretty darn good as well. And then Seattle nipping at their heels. If the playoffs started today, Seattle would get the second wild card and Anaheim would get the first wild card. So kind of shows where the strength of power is. Orioles lose 2 of 3 to Oakland, but bounce back nicely to take 2 of 3 from Anaheim in this past series. Of course, with 2 blown saves, one by Zach Britton and one last night from Brian Madison, Tommy Hunter. Orioles could be sitting 5-1 right now, but hey, 500 is still pretty darn good, so we'll take that. Tonight starts a 4-game set against the Seattle Mariners. Their bullpen has the lowest earned run average in all of baseball at 2.6, which, considering their starting rotation, has the lowest earned run average in all of baseball right now. Yeah, runs are going to be at a premium, and the Orioles, since July 9th, are hitting collectively 205. So, yeah, it'll be, if you're into pitchers duels, you should be in for these 4 games. It'll be very fun. Brian, you may want to be at the ready here. Tonight's starters for the Mariners is Hisashi Iwakuma going against your very own Wei-Yin Chen.
Never used that button so many times in one episode.
There's going to be a theme for tonight, I'm just saying. I'm just feeling it.
And LaFleur tells Toyoto Shikawa Wanaki, this is my dojo.
Banzai!
The Mariners are...
Hate mail, Brian at thebanteranbros.com.
Mariners are not doing fairly well this year against lefties. Chen has 10 wins, not exactly pitching indicative of that, but something's got to give tonight. Iwakuma has not walked a batter in 4 starts and has given up, I believe, 2 runs or less in all 4 of those starts, so it'll definitely be runs at a premium. Trade deadline is a week away as we speak. Latest rumors have us linked to A.J. Burnett from Philadelphia, pitching 4-7 right now to a 4.5 earned run average. He does not upgrade whatsoever, so retarded if we make that move. Chase Utley, 35-year-old power hitting second baseman. Scope's good, but kind of a weak hitter, and you can tell he's still a rookie, flailing at some of those bad pitches. And once again, Brian, we're also looking at Kurt Suzuki, a catcher from... there we go.
I was setting something else. I'm sorry.
Catcher from Minnesota. He journeyman of sorts. I think he's fell into a backup role there. Decent hitter. Definitely hits better than the platoon we have right now of Caleb Joseph and Nick Hundley. Although Joseph's doing crazy. I think he's thrown out like 62% of base runners, which is, I think, 20% above average what every other catcher in baseball is doing.
Nice.
So those are our guys in orange and black. Little update there.
May I make a suggestion for their trade deadline? Whatever they do, okay?
Okay.
Always bet on black.
Just
You wanted a reason, and I
it was
loved
there.
it. It's amazing. Maryland Terrapins are slowly but surely getting ready to make their shift to the Big Ten. Of course, knowing the wonderful fans we have here in Maryland, everyone thinks we're going to be a dynamite force to be reckoned with in that division. Mm-hmm. But they having used to play teams like Duke and North Carolina and other not-so-great football squads to have to go against the likes of Michigan State and Indiana and Michigan and Ohio State. That's what I've been saying all along. Yeah. It's going to be a growth process. Yeah. It opens up a whole new sea of recruiting. A lot more of those kind of bigger, stronger players as opposed to what we've been delegated to here on the East Coast. But things are looking up for the Terps. It'll definitely be interesting.
When's the season start? Got to be coming up.
It's actually not too. I think summer camps and stuff are starting.
They're starting right
soon.
now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it shouldn't be too far along. Before we get to our boys in purple and black, as we do have some breaking news of sorts to talk about that'll be our last topic.
Lordy.
I did my 10 through 6 fantasy quarterbacks you should be paying attention to. This one actually is in order in my eyes. If you want to prove me wrong or have your own opinions, look me up on our website, banteringbohs.com. Drop me a line. Drop me an email. Tell me I'm a retard. I don't care. I take it. Number 5, Tom Brady. The age is getting up there. Rumor has it Rob Gronkowski says he's going to play 16 games this year. I'll believe it when he stops partying and doing drugs with Johnny Manziel.
Let me take a selfie.
Dude, why is that dollar bill up your nose? That's crazy. I don't know. There's that true lack of a playmaker, and health is always a big question for me with New England. Brady is good, but I think the skills are taking a downward turn.
He cannot pass and catch the ball himself.
Playing first base, Bugs Bunny. Second base, Bugs Bunny. Shortstop, Bugs Bunny. Left field, Bugs Bunny. Tom Brady can't do all that, no matter how hot his wife is. Number 4, thank you, Peanut Gallery. I appreciate that. Drew Brees, he loses a couple of his wideout toys. He gets Jimmy Graham back to the highest paid contract in tight end history for the NFL. Also loses Darren Sproles as a speedy fallback option on third downs. I think he regresses a bit numbers-wise. Aaron Rodgers comes in at number 3, loses Jermichael Finley, who was a big red zone safety blanket for him. Still a great quarterback, can't go wrong with him there. My big leap of the draft, Andrew Luck from Indianapolis. He gets Kobe Fleener back from injury. That's a big weapon in the red zone. Gets Hakeem Nicks from the Giants, so that's a bona fide number 2 wide receiver if his legs hold up on the turf. That's the only question I have. T.Y. Hilton establishing himself as a number 1 receiver last year. I expect nothing but good things for the man with the horseshoe on his helmet. And as much as I hate to say it, the guy's a class act. He's probably the best quarterback we'll ever see play in our lifetime or generation. Peyton Manning, number 1. He actually gains another friggin' wide receiver in that onslaught of an offense. Emmanuel Sanders will put up huge numbers. Peyton's just going to dominate in the regular season and choke in the playoffs like he always does.
It's like a used diaper filled with Indian food. Oh!
I don't know. Something about Peyton and just, I don't know.
No,
He's having an off
I know,
night.
I get it. It was the turd sandwich that he laid in the Super Bowl against Seattle. That's what smells like. There we go, Denver fans. I don't care. Now, on to the Ravens. No one was arrested. Okay, I'm finished. No, I'm just kidding. That's just going to be the intro for them for the entire season. Yeah. Little bit of troubling news from the jump. Aaron Ross, former number 2 corner from New York, signed for depth purposes, possibly to replace Corey Graham, who left in free agency. During his physical exam and the conditioning test, he blew out his Achilles. He's done for the year.
Oh.
So before he could even put on his pads, he had to run up and down the football field a bunch of times, ruptured his Achilles. He's done. And now that brings us to the big, wonderful question of the day. Ray Rice, we've been waiting, we've been wanting, and finally the NFL hands down a suspension of 2 games. Now, Screaming Goat, bear with me here. And you poor animated people jumping off buildings.
Yeah.
Asa Jackson, cornerback for us. While granted he had 3 offenses prior, for his first offense for violating the drug policy of the NFL, he was suspended 4 games. Come to find out, it was a prescription for Adderall.
Depends on how you use it. That's all I'm going to say.
He's since ended up suspended 8 games last year for violating it, but for a 3rd time. Brandon Marshall, constantly accused and actually convicted on 2 occasions of domestic assault. He, I think, has only caught a 4-game suspension and large amounts of fines. And Ndamukong Suh steps on a quarterback's head, kicks another guy in the testicles while he's down on the ground, gets suspended for 4 games and a multitude of fines. Ray Rice, drunk with his drunk fiancée in Atlantic City. Lord knows what happens in that elevator. Backhands her, I can only assume, after some reason, and is seen carrying her unconscious.
The bantering Bohs does not disclose any assumptions or
Trying to cover yourself there, Brian.
You see him carrying her drunk, unconscious self out of an elevator for the longest carry of his season last year. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. And he only gets 2 games.
Yeah.
The fan part of me, which is like 90, which it's like 0.1% of this entire argument, is saying, "Oh, dude, we only lose Ray Rice for 2 games. That's awesome." But every other part of me just this like reeks of awful. What do you guys think?
It's just basically like PB&J. Basically, if you kind of think about it, it's like, okay, don't do it again. Back up, slap on the back of the hands. Like
it makes about as much sense as his apology did, I think, almost. If you want to call that an apology.
That pre-scripted text message that he wrote.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But
I did not mean to backhand my wife.
I mean, some people are saying the fact that both...
I believe Bill Clinton way more than... I'm just saying.
He was honest about it.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So when I took that cigar, you see...
So, but,
I sexual relations with that woman.
Deny.
But I did screw that one. Oh, yes.
I mean, did you see my wife, Hillary? She's disgusting.
And she
Hey, do you want to get those fat girls in this limousine and turn up the heat and lick the sweat off their armpits? He is that level of a freak, what can I say? Any Democrats out there who are fans of us, yeah, sorry. Don't care.
Lost them.
Anyway, they say supposedly, though, that the big reason behind the lack of, as NFL Network said, the iron fist of the NFL getting a break,
Really?
Yeah.
was the fact that both he and his fiancée made the trip up to the commissioner's office together.
Ugh.
So I guess it was a thing of he heard her side of the story, but a lot of people are saying, well, what if he just met with her?
Yeah.
What might have happened?
What if Ray Rice wasn't there to begin with?
So it's... I don't know. I think the NFL's got some serious work to do on this.
Any other league, this would have happened.
Oh,
seriously.
Dude.
Yeah.
MLB.
Boom. Like, you're
Even Major
suspended
League
for
Soccer.
You're
Come on.
suspended for 100 games without pay and anger management courses, and it's the NFL. Oh, okay, slap on the wrist, 2 games, anger management courses.
Does he get to go to
and
practices
there you
still
go.
during that time?
He is the suspension does not take place until the regular season begins.
Right.
He has to forfeit both of his game checks for the first 2 games and donate them to a domestic violence charity.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just kind of funny for an entity that does so much work in regards to breast cancer and embracing, the female fan. I mean, there's the
whole campaign,
the purple evening at M&T Bank Stadium for the ladies and stuff. For a league that goes so much for calling out and talking to their lady fans, this is almost saying, we love you, we want your money, but if your boyfriend beats you, it's not that big a deal. They've got so much work to repair their image on this one, I think.